Alright, so this video is going to go over this quarterly sales statistics program. Um, for um, for this one, I am going to do bullet points 1, 3, and 5, and you should do bullet points 2, 4, and 6. Now, if you notice, right here, we're in week 10 when I post the Chapter 7 programming projects. But, let's see here. Let me go to this real quick. So that was week 10, but we don't cover 2D arrays until week 12, all right? So, I'm not going to post your programming projects in different weeks. I'll just post them at the beginning here. But really, if you're watching this video in week 10, wait till week 12 to kind of start this if this video doesn't make sense, because I have other information. I don't even think I've posted it yet. Let me see here. Nope, I haven't even posted the week 12 lessons yet. So you can watch this video now, but don't really start doing it until week 12, I would say. So anyway, let's get started with this. It says, write a program that lets the user enter 4 quarterly sales figures for 6 divisions of a company. The figures should be stored in a 2-dimensional array. Once the figures are entered, the program should display the following data for each quarter. So again, I haven't covered how a 2D array works yet, but this is basically how it works. This is quarter 0 or quarter 1, quarter 1 or quarter 2, quarter, better yet, it's probably best to just put in an index. So this is your index position 0, and index position 1, index position 2, and index position 3. Now, if I were to line this up, let's line all these up properly. Well, I wouldn't say properly, it's just how it is. So then we could do, okay, those are your index. So these are your columns 0, 1, 2, and 3, and this would be row 0, row 1, 2, 3, 4, and then row 5. So and again, and maybe I need to go back a little bit. Create main quarterly sales and quarterly sales. I just started programming this, so you didn't have to see me type in all these numbers. I just made these numbers up off the top of my head. But this creates a 2D array of doubles, and I just call them Q sales. So you've got your quarters, and then you'd have your different divisions, so your 6 different divisions. So that's once let me read here. The figures should be stored in a 2-dimensional array. Did that. Once the figures are entered, the program should display the following. Okay, so I said I'm going to do bullet points 1, 3, and 5. You'll do bullet points 2, 4, and 6. So bullet point 1 says a list of the sales figures by division. So first I got to create a my quarterly sales object from the quarterly sales class, and then I need my object to set the sales. So I'll pass in the Q sales in here. So set sales. I create my quarterly sales, and I say that it's a 2D array of doubles, 6 rows by 4 columns. The first number in your brackets is the row, and then your second number is the column. Then I've got an int my quarter, double my total quarterly sales. So either way, I pass in Q sales and I store it right there. Okay. So then bullet point 1, my quarterly sales dot display sales by division. So let's write that method, okay? So I'm going to say, where's that? Bullet 1, and I'll say public void display sales by division. All right. So I'm going to do some system.out stuff so that it just prints in here and not, I don't know. This, again, this is how you want this to display is kind of up to you, but I'll do quarterly sales by division. And then I'll say division quarter 1. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we got 3 spaces. 3, it's a quarter 2, then quarter 3, then quarter 4. All right, so then I've got, so that would be kind of the title of my page, or the header. So I want to just display my, let's see here. Yeah, my sales by quarter. So for, I'm going to start with my rows. So I'll say row equals 0. And then row needs to be less than my Q sales dot length. And this dot length gives me my rows. It does this one first. Okay. So I'll say row plus plus. Then I'll do system.out.println or print. And I'll say division plus row plus 1. So, you know, we start off at 0, but we really start counting at 1. So this is division 1. There'll be division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then we'll do a for loop, and we'll do each column then, okay? So we'll say int column is 0, and then we'll say call is less than my Q sales at the row that we're in, which would be row 0 dot length, call plus plus, and we'll do system.out.print. And we'll give it a $sign plus my Q sales at the row, which is 0, at the column 0. And then it would be row 0, column 1, row 0, column 2, row 0, column 3, and then your columns would be done because column would become 4. 4 is not less than the length of 3, or sorry, it'd be row 3, so column would be 3. 3 is not less than 3, so it would go back up. Okay. Let me see here, plus, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if that works. Okay, and then we need to do a system.out.println. So let's see if this works. Now I'm gonna comment out all these until we get there. Okay, so let me print that. Okay, so you could figure out how to get this going, but you get the idea. You got your division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you've got these in each quarter, okay? I'm not going to go through and line this stuff up. That's too much of a pain because it depends on how many items or how big each number is here, but this should all basically be this right here, okay? So this would be how you display it by the division, all right? So I'm going to comment that out. And I'll comment out just this part now. So bullet point 3. So this won't print now, but we got that. We figured that out. So now bullet point 3 says the total sales for the quarter. Okay, so we got to add the quarters up. Add up all the divisions by the quarter. Let's see the total sales for the quarter. Okay, cool. So that's not hard to do. So I'm going to say which quarter sales would you like to see, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So enter that in. And then we'll pass that into here. And this is going to be the column basically that we're going to print. Okay. So like if they want to see quarter 2, you would just do all the information in column 2. Okay. So I've got my quarterly sales. So I'm going to copy this. Dot set quarterly sales. And then we're going to do a get quarterly sales as well. Okay. Paste that. So I'll say public void. And I'll say this is bullet 2 or bullet 3, and then what do we got here? Public. They're all doubles, so I'm gonna call it get quarterly sales, and I'll return. I'm just gonna call it my tote quarter sales. So that's this right here, my tote quarter sales. What's wrong with this? Cannot find symbol. I spell it wrong. I might have. Paste. Okay, cool. So what's wrong with this? We need to have a int here. All right, so let's look at this. So they're going to enter this in as 1, 2, 3, or 4, but we're really in 0, 1, 2, 3. So if they enter in 4, then we want to make sure it's 3. If they enter 3, we make sure it's 2. If they enter 2, we make sure it's 1, and 1 is 0. So we want to say what? We want to say my quarter, which I defined up here as an int, my quarter equals quarter minus 1, quarter minus 1, and we'll just do a for loop for int row equals 0, row is less than my q sales dot length, row plus plus, and I'll do another for loop, int column equals my quarter, column is less than or equal to my quarter. So we'll say it's, so if they enter in quarter 3, column is 3, is 3 less than or equal to 3? Yes. So we'll only do the column in, we'll only do the column in that one, all right? And so all we do is just say my tote quarter sales plus equals my q sales in row, whatever row 0, row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this would only be the column that you enter for the, I cannot spell that right. How did my tote quarter sales. My tote. Oh, I didn't put an R there. Quarter sales. Okay, cool. So that's that. So let's run this and let's say, what's the easiest one to add? No, they're all pretty easy. I don't know. Let's just say 3, which would be 2. Quarter 3 is this. So you got that, and then you add all these up. So, what do we got? 6 here. 300, 6,000, and then we got 60,000. So 3, 6, yep. Okay, so that works. But anyway, the biggest thing is here is that column never changes. We're adding up only column 3, which is we're quarter 3, which is column 2. Okay. So last one, and I'm gonna comment this out. So we only focus on display average quarterly sales. Okay, so 5. Display the sales. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The average sales for all divisions that quarter. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I did it a little bit different. I didn't do it for the quarter. I did it for each quarter. I think here. I'm just gonna display it how I did it, so that's fine. It's not a big deal. So I'll say bullet 5, and I am going to say, what did I do here? I just said display average quarterly sales, so I'm going to just say public void display average quarterly sales. Okay, I'm going to grab some of this up here. And I'm going to say average quarterly sales of all divisions for each quarter. And then I'll do let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Alright, so that's my header there. And then I'll just do a for loop where int call equals 0, columns less than 4, call plus plus. So now I'm going to do the quarterly sales average for each column. So I need to get just those. Okay, if I get those, then I can add them all up and then divide them by 6. And then I can do all these and then divide them by 6. So what I'm going to do is I'll say, instead of doing it by row, I'm doing it by column. So I'll say this right here. What's wrong with that? Int call expected. Oh, whoops. And then I'll say int row equals 0, and I'll say row is less than my Q sales dot length, and then I'll do row plus plus, and I'll say my tote quarter sales plus equals my Q sales for the row I'm in and the column I'm in. Okay, and I really forget that right there. Okay, so then I can say system.out.print, and I can print $sign plus my tote quarter sales divided by my Q sales dot length. All right. So let's run this. So that's not too bad. Let's see if I can do that. That looks a little bit, it's still off, but whatever. So anyway, what we were doing back here was we were doing this by row, and then so let's see here. We're doing this by division. No, I already went through that. Either way, this is how you do it by column. Okay, you switch it. Instead of doing it by row, you do it by column first. So we're saying we're in column 0. So when we run this, will be row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, but this will stay at 0. So we'll add all these columns up in whatever. What did I do here? Okay, we added up all the columns in each row, and then column goes up by 1, and then we set row to 0 again. And so then we'll do row 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we're now in column 1. And so that all gets added up, and then we divide it. Let me think here. And make sure that you reset that to 0, because what would happen after the first one, you'd have that set in it, and then you would add up your columns, all of it, plus that, and you don't want to do that. So anyway, you guys should be able to figure out how to do bullet points 2, 4, and 6. So this video is, let's see here, this video should be done.